Glad you're here today. In Sunday school, we're going to do something a little different. I wanted to cover this. We've got so much good stuff in the Bible, and I guess we got to have more services. We're headed that way in our here at the church. Back in Milwaukee, we used to have services every day of the week. We'd have services, 4 services all week long: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then there's 7 services on Sunday. So we're going to get away from the traditional, what we call church, and you got to come early to eat, my friend. Just leave your stuff there and come on over to Sunday school. If you want to come and eat coffee and donuts, come at 8. At 9 we start Sunday school. Just leave it over there and you can get it when we're done with Sunday school. But anyway, I wanted to get this in Exodus about, of course, Exodus, it sounds like exit, doesn't it? It's when the Jews, they left Egypt. Not as any. We talk to each other in Sunday school. I think this is an important thing, and of course the Bible's all important. But do you remember when the Jews came into Egypt? What were the circumstances of them coming into Egypt? Does anybody remember? Let me refresh your memory a little bit. It was when Joseph was sold by his brothers into slavery because he had a dream and said that he was that his brothers and his mom and dad were going to bow down to him. And his brothers really got angry about that. He was a younger brother. And so his mom and dad didn't know what to think about it, but his brothers were really mad. And so what they did, they sold him into slavery. Well, when I won't go into all that story. It's a great story, but Joseph always raised to the top. And he was second in command, and there was a great drought. There was a famine, and there was no food, and Joseph interpreted the dream for the king that there was going to be 7 lean years, there's going to be 7 plenteous years, and he told that by 7 fat corns and 7 fat cows, and then there's going to be 7 lean years, and that was also prophesied. So the king put him second in command. He went through a lot of stuff, a lot of lying about and stuff, but he always rose to the top. There's only 2 people in the Bible that God never told you about their sins. Now, Joseph had sins like you and I, because all have sinned. There's nobody that hasn't sinned. I was talking to someone at a doctor's office today, and the girl thought she's good, didn't sin, but she sinned. And see, you can't get saved unless you mark yourself a sinner and repent. You got to admit you are a sinner, but you got to mark yourself a sinner and repent. That's the only way you can be saved. But anyway, so Joseph, he was second in command. He always rose to the top. God never. Do you remember who the other one was in the Bible? There's another great leader in the Bible, a prophet, and that prophet also. God never told us about his sins, but of course we know he sinned because all have sinned. Remember who his name was?
Enoch, Ezekiel, or Enoch.
The Bible didn't say Enoch. That's true in a way, but Enoch wasn't a. You're gonna have to take that dog out, sir. We don't have no dogs in here. The Bible says very little about Enoch. It just said Enoch was a godly man, and he walked with God, and he walked to heaven. So it didn't talk about Enoch's sins either, but Enoch wasn't a prominent person in the Bible. I'm talking about someone that God talked a lot about. The only thing told us about Enoch was that he was a godly man and he never saw death. He walked away to heaven with God. So that's a good answer, though, but it's not the answer I was looking for. I was looking for a primary character, because of course we know Enoch wasn't sinless, because nobody was sinless. All have sinned ever since Adam and Eve. Remember what it told us in Romans 3:10. Remember what it says there? Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, that's Adam, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. Sir, you can't tie your dog up outside.
No, my wife got this.
Huh?
She's gonna watch it. I'm gonna come in.
She's going to watch it?
Yeah. She's not gonna come in.
Daniel was the other one in the Bible. So we have Joseph and Daniel, who had their life was talked about. They talked a lot about. Didn't talk much about Enoch, other than that he was pleased God and he walked to heaven with him. But that was the two. So here Joseph, he called his daddy and his brethren, and he saved them because of the famine, and they came to Egypt, and he gave them a land in Egypt called Goshen. The reason he gave them Goshen was because Goshen was cattle ground, and they raised cattle. That's what they did. And so, but now we had a king of not. They had a pharaoh or a king, the boss man, that didn't know Joseph. And so he didn't like the Jews. Now, see, the Jews had it made for 440 years. But now they were going to exodus. They were in the land of Egypt for all that time, and now they were going to go. So it's a very exciting time, and they brought a fella on the scene that was named Moses. Does anybody know much about Moses? Do you remember when Moses was born? Now, Moses was a Jew, and this Pharaoh that didn't like the Jews because they're multiplying too fast, they're having all kinds of Jews. So if you get rid of the men, you get rid of the males, and you have no more babies, you know.
Wasn't it the Pharaoh's wife that took him in?
It was a princess. Yeah, it was a princess. And so Moses' mother, of course, the midwives, the Egyptian midwives, they were afraid of God. They were humble people. And so they were supposed to take the babies and kill them. And they used this excuse. Wasn't a real good excuse, but they said, oh, the Jews ain't like the Egyptians. They have babies so fast that we can't get there in time. But that's good they lied for them, because they saved they could at least be born. But if they caught them, they'd kill them, because they didn't want the Jews taking over. There's too many Jews being born. And so they're going to kill all the males. But Moses, his mama made a little boat out of some kind of straw or something, and put pitch on it, tar on it, and put him in the river, and told his teenage sister, "You go watch, see what happens to him." And so he was floating, and so God, in His mercy and His plan, little baby Moses was floating in the water, and the princess come there to the side of the river, and she was. I think she was swimming. I don't think she took a bath out there, because rich people usually didn't take bath in the homeless people take bath in the river, in the ocean. I say that kindly, but that has to happen sometimes. But rich people don't usually take a bath in the river. They usually go swimming in the river, you know, or in the ocean or whatever. But so anyway, she found this nice little baby boy, and she said, I'm going to keep that little boy. But she didn't want to keep the little boy because when they're little, that's just like me. I don't get. Please don't think I'm unkind. But when I have, little bitty kids that can't do nothing but drink and go in their pants and asleep, I don't care to see them much. I don't really care. That might sound cold and hard, but bring me them kids around when I can play with them and talk to them. I guess, I don't know. Is there any other men here that feel the same way? Or you want? Yeah, okay, a couple honest ones here anyway. But anyway, so the princess, she seen this teenage girl standing there. She says, "Hey, listen, I want this baby, but I don't want the trouble of taking care of it till it's older. Would you take it and put it somewhere? Have someone take care of it?" So she just took the baby back on home, took Moses home, and she says, and whoever takes care of the baby, I'll pay him. So here Moses' mother got paid for taking care of her a little bit. How many of you wish that would have been you? You'd got paid. Someone, the queen paid you. They probably paid pretty good too, wouldn't you think? Because they got money coming out of their ears, so she got paid to raise her own baby, probably for several years, I imagine. But anyway, Moses, he was in order to become the Pharaoh because he was in the royal family. But he knew he was a Jew, and he seen one day that the Egyptians were treating the Jews real bad, and had mean Pharaoh, and they're making them make bricks wouldn't even give them straw. They had to go get their own straw and everything. And so what happened is that Moses seen an Egyptian treating a Jew real bad, and so what's going to happen? You going to stay in, or he going to stay in, or what's going on with the dog?
He's taking him back and he's coming
Huh?
back. He's taking him back by the camp and he's coming
Oh,
back.
good. Okay, good. Thank you. Appreciate that. So anyway, so Moses killed the Egyptian. He come back the next day because he wanted to help his people, and he seen a couple of Jews fighting, and he says, "Why are you fighting? You're brothers." And the one Jew that gets caused a fight, he told Moses, he says, "What are you gonna do? Kill us like you did the Egyptian yesterday?" Well, Moses, he got scared because he figured, I've been found out. Now I'm a Jew, and the Pharaoh found out about it and wanted to kill him. So he escaped, and he went back in the backside of the desert, it says, and he was there for 40 years. Well, when he escaped, when this happened, he was 40 years old, and so then when he came back, you see, God sent him back. Do you remember that? You ought to read your Bible. I mean, the Bible is so wonderful. I feel sorry for people who don't read the Bible. I mean, you're missing so much. You just got to read the Bible, and there's so many of our people and so many people in general that even Christians, they've asked the Lord to save them, but they're very ignorant of the Bible. They just don't read the Bible. We read it through it as a church family right here. We got Bible reading charts on the back table, and you need to read that. And if you've been reading with us, we're in a place right now where the children of Israel are being delivered, 8, 9, and 10 of Exodus. Here he was out there in the backside of the desert 40 years, and God come and talk to him. He says, "Go on back there and you're going to deliver the Jews out of Egypt." "Oh, me? I can't talk." God got mad at him. He's, "All right, I'll send your brother-in-law Aaron. He'll go with you. He'll be your mouthpiece. He'll do the talking for you." And so he went back there, and so he could have done it on his own, but he wouldn't. He was afraid. And so Aaron did. And now here we're in Exodus. We're going to read a little bit. Probably we'll just look in 10, I think. Well, maybe I'll go on past that because I want to get to another part. The plague how many plagues? Do you remember how many plagues they had? 10. 10 plagues.
Where we at here, Pastor?
We're in Exodus.
1,
No, 10.
10?
Well, actually, we'll go back. I'm just going to tell you where the plagues were, and then I'm not going to read about all of them. But Pharaoh was a wicked man, and he had a wicked heart. And don't get fooled when you read it and it says, God hardened Pharaoh's heart. Pharaoh had a choice in the matter. God brought light and wanted deliverance for the people of Egypt, but Pharaoh was a wicked man. And the reason his heart was wicked was because he rebelled and he wouldn't yield to God. He's a rebellious person. Aaron spake for Moses, in chapter 6, chapter 7, the rod became a serpent. Oh, that was great. Throw your stick down, Aaron. What happened? Turned into a snake. Did you know the devil's got power?
Amen.
He's powerful all around here now. Boy, I'm telling you, the devil is powerful. And you know what? The witchcraft people and all of that, his wizards and stuff, Pharaoh's wizards, they threw their rods down too, turned into snakes. Had a bunch of snakes there. You know what God did? He had Aaron's rod snake eat up their snakes.
That'll work.
Huh?
That'll work.
Yeah. So he gobbled up their snake. So don't forget the devil has. How many of you know the devil has power because he's messing with you all the time?
Yeah. Oh,
Devil's messing with you.
bad boy.
I get so people fight my preaching because I say the devil does this thing. Oh, quit talking about the devil, you idiot, you fool. If you don't think it's the devil that's messing with you and messing your life up and messing your health up and messing everything else up about you, you're a fool. The devil's behind all of that. The devil's behind sick and death. It's the wages of sin, you understand. The devil's all about sin. God's all about righteousness and forgiveness of sin. The rod became a serpent. Then the first plague, the water became blood. Ugh. Then came the frogs. Then came the lice. Then came the flies. Then came the cattle getting sick and dying. But the Jews' cattle, they were cattle people. Goshen was a fertile land, and the Jews, because way back 440 years before, when Joseph was second in command in Egypt, he brought his daddy and his family all down, and they got that fertile land in Goshen. Now, 440 years later, they didn't have no king that honored the Jews. And then they had the cows died. But the Jews' cows didn't die. And then they had the plague of boils. Boils on all the people and all the boils on all. Have you ever had a boil on you? How'd you like that boil? Did you ever have a boil? I think I had one or two in my life. They ain't good. How'd you like to have them all over your body? That wouldn't be so good, would it? No. But the Jews didn't have it. It's God's people. And then the plague of the hail and fire in chapter 9:13. Let's go on here. The plague of locusts, chapter 10. The plague of darkness, chapter 10, verse 21. And the last plague, we'll spend a little time on it, just the 10th plague, the 10 plagues altogether. Moses delivering the children of Israel. Book of Exodus, that means deliverance. And the Lord said unto Moses, look at chapter 11, verse 1. You got your Bible. You got any questions? So you scratching your head, sweetheart, or you got a question? Scratching your head. That's my dear wife. She's the only one I call sweetheart. Some people go around calling everybody sweetheart. My wife gets mad. You know, if we're in a restaurant and some of these hillbilly waitress will come up, you know, and you know how people from down south are, and they'll take our order, and you know that You know, that little hillbilly girl with her southern drawl, she looked at me and she said, "What are you going to have, sweetheart?" My wife don't like that. My wife don't like that.
Humphrey Bogart always said that.
Yeah.
Humphrey Bogart?
Yeah. He always went around saying everybody's sweetheart.
Yeah.
Guys, too?
You never heard that?
No, I didn't know that. No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. You don't watch much TV.
No, I don't watch the movies much. The plague of locusts, and then the plague of the last plague. Okay, and the Lord said unto Moses, chapter 11. Follow along with me in the Bible. A guy just bought me all new Bibles. I'm gonna put them in the pew. I decided which ones I'm getting. It'll be a little bit before I get them. We'll put all new Bibles in the pew.
Amen.
When I say Bible, that's King James. That's the Bible, King James. I heard a preacher preaching from it. I get you so mad when they preach the phony Bibles. I read it before in all these new Bibles, the Living Bible. I knew it first from the Living Bible because that's one of the older of the corrupted. It said he's preaching on Elijah, and remember when he come to the Ahab's wicked, what do you have, 400 or 600 or something like that, wicked prophets. And he told them to pray. And they prayed. And they couldn't get nothing done. Then the Elijah prayed. Good morning. We're in the 11th chapter of Exodus, talking about the last plague. It's reading for today, going through the Bible. I know Bill goes through the Bible in a year, so we're right on here. This is good. I had to cover this in Sunday school today, the last plague. I was just talking about the fake Bible. I got off track a little bit, like I usually do, but I heard a preacher lately preaching on Elijah with the false prophets. And he said a few things. Maybe he took a trip or everything. And in these new Bibles, like the Living Bible or like the Message Bible or all these phony new Bibles, they put in there, it says maybe he went to the bathroom. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard of in my life.
It's really in there?
It's in there. I had a preacher preaching on it just the other day, and they're using them phony Bibles. I know it's in the Living Bible. Yeah, and instead of said he took a journey or this or that, he was like mocking their false gods.
Yeah.
But there ain't no words in it said nothing about going to the bathroom. They stick whatever they want in there.
Crazy.
I'm just glad. I was just telling them, Bill, that someone just purchased us Bibles, new Bibles for all the pews, and I just decided I need your opinion on that too. I'll show you a couple but anyway, we're going to put all new Bibles in because the same person purchased the last ones for us. James, pray for, huh?
Giant print.
What?
Big print.
Well, yeah, it's big. Well, it's large print. It ain't as big as this big Bible I got, but it's large print, and it's nice. So I like put a Bible in. I like put a Bible in everybody's hand.
Amen.
I'm so sick of the wrong Bibles.
Amen.
There ain't no Bible. And I'll preach something in church today that you're going to like this. I'm glad you're here today, Bill, because this is good. I'll have you anyway. You'll like church today, but this Sunday school. Come on, right in, sign in. Come on in. Had him going to the bathroom, crazy. And the Lord said unto Moses, "Yet will I bring one plague more." This is the last plague. There were 10 plagues. I read you what all the plagues were. This is the last plague. And afterwards, he will let you go hence. When he draw out and take jump the page. Get back here a page. Sticking together. Shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out hence altogether. Verse 2, speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor, and every woman of their neighbor, jewelry and silver and jewels and gold. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. God did all that. Moreover, the man Moses was very great in the land of Egypt. They liked him because he was Pharaoh before. Even it's 40 years he was gone, and he come back in the sight of the people. And Moses said, thus saith the Lord, about midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt. Verse 5, chapter 11, and the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon the throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill. From everybody, from the big shots to the little shots, to everybody. By the way, you know something? God ain't got, you know like the world talks about big shots? God don't pay them no mind at all. They're nothing. In fact, the big shots of this world, sad to say, can't be saved. Because if you don't humble yourself, you can't be saved. Big shots with God, it says, what does the Bible say? In order to be first in God's economy, what do you have to be here on the earth? Last. The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. These people everybody making a big fuss about, they ain't going to have a very good end. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, verse 6, such as there was none like it, nor shall like it be any more. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. There's always a difference all the way through the Bible between right and wrong. There's always a difference between God's people and the world. And the big problem we have is today, the church that's supposed to be the church of the living God, claim to be born again and all this, it's not different from the world. You have a hard time figuring out if it's church at all. They do everything the world does. The Bible says, come out from amongst them and be ye separate, saith the Lord. Touch not the unclean thing. What fellowship had light with darkness? Yeah? While you run around, you got a bunch of wicked friends. You run around with the devil's people. Oh, yeah, I'm going to hang around with them. And they're going to see how good I am. I'm goody two-shoes Christian. And because of how nice I am, they're going to get saved. Oh, shut up. They're going to drag you down, and you're going to be wicked with them. You don't get good health, you get bad health. Quit hanging around with wicked people. You hang around with them, you get there. I could tell you story after story about Christians that hung around unsaved people and thought they was going to bring them up, and they didn't. The wicked people bring them down, drag them down. Put a difference between the Egyptians. There's a difference between God's people and the Lord's people. You're going to hear about it in church this morning too. And all these thy servants shall come down unto me, and bow down themselves unto me, saying, get thee out, and all the people that follow thee. And after that I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in a great anger. Whoa. Moses got mad. And the Lord said unto Moses, Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt. And Moses and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh. And the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go out of the land. Verse chapter 12, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th month of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house. And if the household be too little for a lamb, let his neighbor next unto the house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, like Jesus, without blemish. a male of the first year, you shall take it, put it out from the sheep, from the goats. And you shall keep it up till the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take the blood and strike it upon the two side posts on the upper doorposts of the house wherein they shall eat. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not it at raw, nor sodden it at all with water, but roast with fire this head with his legs, and with the upper, with the pertness thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning it shall burn with fire. And they shall yet eat, ye of the loins girded, and your shoes and your feet, and your staff in your hand, and eat it in haste as the Lord's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and I will smite the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. They had all kinds of gods. I was reading a list of them today about them, all the different gods of Egypt. And the blood shall be to you for a token unto the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you. And we got a song that was written for our day and age. When I see the blood, I will pass over you. I'm going to sing that song this morning. We're going to sing it. Someone find what page. Don't find it now, but when I'm done preaching, find the page number, because I'm going to sing it in church today. When I see the blood. Whew. Only the blood of Christ. You know what the Bible says in Hebrews? Jesus is our Passover. If you see a bloodless preacher like John MacArthur or other famous preachers that everybody follows, bloodless preachers, run away from them like fire. They're of the devil. Anybody that says that the blood of Jesus went into the dirt at the foot of the cross and stayed, no, the precious blood, it's still cleansing from sin. Without the shedding of blood, there is no remission of sins. I don't know if I'm going to read. Yeah, I'm going to read that to you today, too, in church. Oh, we're going Old Testament today. That's such good. New Testament, so good in Matthew, too. I love to teach you. But in the Old Testament, with Solomon in the temple, you're gonna love that. What does that mean?
20. It's on page 20.
Huh?
It's on page 20. When I see the blood.
Oh, 20. Good. Thanks. Good. Thanks, Marcel. But where do you get that? The dedication of the temple, and then and he tells us about that in second. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's for church. And this day shall be unto for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast of the Lord throughout your generations, and ye shall keep it a feast day and ordinance forever. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread, and the first day, and then it goes on and on talking about this holy convocation. And ye shall observe the feast unleavened bread in the first month. 7 talking about unleavened bread. And Moses called for the elders of Israel, verse 21, and said unto them, cut out some of the stuff for time's sake, Sunday school. Time. Draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill the Passover. You shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning. For the Lord will pass through and smite the Egyptians, godless people. And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door, and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto you, or your house to smite you. That's that precious blood. This is, like I said in Hebrews, it says that Jesus is our Passover. Bill, have you got your Rice Reference Bible in your hand? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rice is good on it. He's talking about the blood. I'm so glad I gave you that Bible. You know, a lot of people don't have that Bible. He's good on this, on the blood and all that. I said, no, I think about that. A lot of times when I'm reading the Bible, I say, you know, Bill's reading this today, and he's got that John Rice reference Bible, and it's really helping him a lot because he's the smartest man I knew in the Bible, John Rice. He knew about the blood, and you better know about the blood. Jesus Christ is our Passover. And let me just say this. I got so much more to say here, but I got to quit. Stay on schedule. Well, we got stupid schedules. Just keep going. I think that's worldly. It is, really. But anyway, glad you're here today. We got all kinds of people come in here. I need Jesus. Need Jesus. I'm glad we're here for everybody to come in, aren't you? People need Jesus. Praise God. Glory to God. Yeah. We're going to talk in. I'm going to quit now. We're going to talk in church today about the dedication of the temple with Solomon, and he built a pulpit up there. And just to finish up on the blood, and I'm done. But they slayed at the dedication of the temple. They slayed thousands and thousands of sacrifices to picture the blood of Christ. The blood started in the Garden of Eden when the skins were gotten by God for Adam and Eve. There was an animal slain to get those skins. It's the precious blood. And glory to God, these deliverance of the children of Israel, picturing God's people. Sad to say Israel wasn't always God's people, and the truth of the matter is they aren't today. I mean, they don't follow Christ. Yes, Jesus was a Jew, and yes, they are technically God's people. Christ came from the Jews, and God was with the Jews here and there, but they rejected Christ so terribly. They rejected the blood. So we're going to have church, and others are coming in, and it's time to stop Sunday school, and we'll be there on the dedication of the temple, and you're gonna like it, and you're gonna like church today. I feel real good about it. So we're going to have about a 15-minute break and get a cup of coffee, and then we'll return back here and have church. I'm looking forward to it. God bless you.